In this video, we're going to talk about 3 types of closes that I use to get digital marketing clients. If you run an agency, or if you're trying to sell things specific, service-based things, this might be a good idea for you to watch. You're going to be able to use these 3 techniques to grow your agency, and I think you're going to like it. What's up, everybody? My name is Breshears. This is the Digital Marketing Madman channel, and I run a digital marketing agency. I've been doing digital marketing for a long time, but have done digital marketing as an agency for about a year and a half now. And when I first got started, I had luckily been in real estate and selling loans before that. But so many of the digital marketers that I meet have trouble closing deals, getting new clients, because they don't have experience selling. No matter how good you are, not no matter how good you are, it's very, very important that you're good at digital marketing. That's number one. But if you're not able to close and sell, you're going to have a hard time growing your business. So I've got 3 closes for you that work really well, and I think you're going to really like it. So let's talk about close number. So the first thing that I see most people do when they're selling and they're not super comfortable with selling is that they don't ask for full price to begin with. And so especially if you're not conditioned to high prices and selling, if you didn't grow up with money, or if you are kind of nervous about the value that you're conveying and that you're offering somebody, a lot of times you're going to discount your services. And especially when you're starting out, it's understandable. Sometimes you do need to give free trials and you need to do free work to build up your client base, because you have to provide a track record. But assuming that you have a track record and you're able to do good work and you're confident of your skills and you know what you're talking about and you're not just some agency bro out there slinging social media services, right? Which there's like a million of those guys out there right now. But assuming that you're good at what you do, a lot of times you don't ask for the money that you're actually worth. And I'm even like guilty of this. Sometimes I just want to give a good deal, and so I will add more services or I'll discount services right out the gate. And that's not the right way to start a relationship. You want clients who are going to be number one, high value for you. You're going to be able to provide them service. But when you discount your work, you're not actually, going to be as excited to work for these people as you would for somebody who's going to pay you what you think you're worth and what you know you're worth. So strategy number 1 is actually just to ask, and don't respond or don't do anything until you find out what they say about your price. So if your price is a $5,000 a month retainer, start there and then shut up. That's what you got to do. You have to be quiet. So too many times, especially people who are not experienced in sales, when they submit their offer, they start to get nervous, or they start to wonder, are they going to be into it? Or, so just close number 1, you have to say, typically my minimum fee is X, $5,000 a month. Here's everything that I'm going to include. Please let me know what your thoughts are, right? That's number 1. As an example of this is I used to sell bikes at a bicycle store, and it was really, really high end. And I was a really good salesman there because I had a background in real estate and stuff. And it was after the recession, and what ended up happening was people would come into the bike store, I would sell them a bike, I'd find out what they wanted, and then I would trial close with the full price. And I had a friend who worked there too, and he was also just really personal and stuff, but he was broke, and so he never thought people could afford a full price bike, and so he was putting that kind of conditioning on them. And so he would sell bikes, but right out the gate, first words out of his mouth is, well, we can probably do 20% off the bike, right? And they hadn't even asked for a discount. So don't discount. A lot of times, especially if you have great pre-selling, if you have a great funnel to bring clients in, you don't need to discount right away. And so that's one thing. Just ask for what you're worth and what you actually believe you're worth, and then wait to get it. And a lot of times they'll say, sounds great, and sign. But if you say, hey, I'm going to give you 20% off, and we're so excited to start working with you. At that point, that's your starting point, and now it gets more difficult to raise your fees, and especially if you're starting out with the relationship is built around price, you're probably going to have a hard time with the client anyways. So that's strategy number 1 for closing more agency clients. Let's talk about strategy number 2. So I'm not a fan of discounting. I really think that you need to have a belief in what you're doing and what you're selling so that you'll be convicted that you can sell people and it's worth it. I think a lot of times people's value is not conveyed because they don't actually believe that they're the best and that they're good at what they do. And so as a result, what ends up happening is discounting. But if you don't want that to happen, I always like a trial offer. So with a trial offer, a lot of times too, you'll have a business owner that's really, really busy. And so usually I'm using trial offers as a way to get my foot in the door, to get my tentacles into their analytics, to get added to their ad account, and really get a behind the look scenes of what's going on. And once you're in to that point, it's very, very simple to just continue the work. So a few things that's really, really important though. If you're not good at the follow-up or the execution, then you're just going to waste your time with these free trials, and it's just a bummer. So let's talk about some things that you need to do when you're offering a trial. Number one, it needs to be for a very agreed upon, specific, limited time. So you get in, you have your first meeting, and I just like to get started. So one thing that I do a lot with the clients that I'm working with is, especially if I have proposals out, I'll be monitoring their social media accounts so that I know, okay, they have an event coming up and they're doing promotions for it and they're running ads and they're running them poorly. Let's go in and say, hey, I noticed you were running these ads. Would you like me to help you with these? We can do a trial. It'd be a great time to start anyway. So having a reason to follow up, right, that's going to get them to logically say, hey, this is really helpful. Let's get them in and get them going. Once somebody agrees to that and now you're on the same team, it's much, much easier to get your credit card processing payment done and just get auto billing going. So I like to do auto billing just because I hate bookkeeping. I hate following up in invoices. And so I always send people to the auto bill. But that being said, with the trials that you're doing, so number one, very limited time. So it's going to be, hey, let's do a trial if you're open to it. We'll get in there, we'll start running this first campaign. And if after 2 weeks you're happy with the work, we'll get started with the full plan. And that's typically what I like to do. I don't necessarily do a 2-week trial. I may do a 1-week trial, or maybe a funnel trial where we say, hey, we'll set this up and run this. And then after the first one, we will then basically start our billing at that point. So I've used this a lot. It just really removes the barrier to entry. And a lot of times, too, the most difficult part of getting on a new client is getting into their analytics account, getting into their AdWords account, getting into their Tag Manager account. And so this just is like, hey, we're giving you something free. Let's get in there, set up an appointment on Zoom, and set everything up all at one time. So it's been huge. Now, number one, there's a few things to be wary of. If you don't think that they have the ad budget, or they don't have the maybe if price is the issue that's keeping them from starting, I wouldn't suggest this, just because you're not going to be able to, if they're expecting that you're going to be their savior and come across and radically transform their business, it's going to end up in failure. And you can ask me how I know. It's because I've had these clients who are like, hey, I need something to work. Will you please help me? And then you jump in there and, you know, as good as you are at marketing, you can't transform a business because you're just doing their inbound marketing, right? So you need to realize what your role is. And if they're expecting you to come in and transform their business, don't do it. It's going to end up in pain for you. So make sure that it's not about price is the reason why they're not starting, is what I'm trying to say here. Make sure that they can afford you, that they want the ad spend. But a lot of times these people are just busy. So offering a trial is a good foot in the door. Now, as you get more and more busy, you're going to bring on more and more clients. You're just not going to be able to offer free trials. So then it's going to position you back into category 1 where you're asking for full price right off the gate. And if they can't start, there's no skin off your back. You'll just continue to follow up with them until they're ready to start. Okay, close number 3. So this last bit is something that I don't typically like to do in general, just because I'm super, super busy now, and that is downselling services. So typically if somebody asks for services, I will give them the whole kind of menu of services. I'll lump it into a piece. I won't break these services into a piece though when I send them something. So I'm not saying like your Facebook ads are $1,000 a month, and your AdWords is $1,000 a month, and your email is $1,000. That way, I don't want my clients to like basically pick and choose. And one thing that I've found too is when I have a full kind of package that I'm offering somebody, if they say, well, how about I just do, I'll do the content creation, and then we can, negotiate the price down. I found that those kind of clients, they don't do the content creation. So if it's something that they're already doing and it's going well for them and they're like, hey, I don't need it because I already have it, that's different than saying, hey, I tell you what, I'm going to start doing a blog post a week. It doesn't happen, okay? Just trust me. So getting back to the strategy though, it's downselling a specific service. So if maybe they don't have the budget for something, but you've got a foot in the door already and you know that you're going to be able to close something, maybe just doing a managed Facebook ads and a managed AdWords campaign for these people and having a monthly retainer for that. But if you can save it and it works with your kind of business model and your skill set, scaling back your services and then offering a limited plan as the third option is typically good. If I have somebody who I know likes my work and wants to work with me, and I know that they're doing ad spend and that I think it's going to be something good, I can use one of these three strategies and basically close them every single time. I've only had one client in the past year that I haven't been able to close. They just ghosted me and stopped responding back to me. So that was kind of the only one. But otherwise, I'm able to do digital marketing for tons of clients, and these are really, really effective for me. But I would love to hear what you think about it. Do you have a special close that you use? Is it top secret and you don't want to mention it? It's okay. You don't have to. But if you like digital marketing and digital marketing videos, if you're in an agency and you want to learn from somebody else who's running an agency, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.